Shalom, family. I was thinking about Christianity and how it has affected our people on a large scale. I know we talk about Christianity a lot, and that's basically because so many of our family members and friends are still trapped in this strong delusion. And we even did a whole documentary that talked about Christianity, where it came from, what racial group presented it to us, and the whole thing of how it's been presented in a very deceptive way. Christianity has been a detriment to us. And what I feel is like it has actually helped to perform a spiritual lobotomy on us. When you look at the people who gave us Christianity, even now today, this so-called Christian nation of ours, they get very offended when you go against anything they present to us. You see, their national anthem, their white image of Jesus, all of this stuff, they get very offended by it, and they use it to try to control us. And we are so mentally destroyed as a people that like I said, spiritual lobotomy. We're so mentally destroyed that we actually defend many of their actions against us. We actually defend it. Even down to people getting annoyed at people like myself who are constantly talking about certain issues. And my thing is this: these people that gave us Christianity, we have no idea how damaged it has made many of our people, our families, and our communities, even the way we think, our thought processes. We have no idea how damaged we are from it, you see. And even down to a person being annoyed by hearing me talk about the things that white people do and have done to us, you see. To think that is not important, that we should just, we get it now, white people do this, that, and the other to us. To think that it's not important and that it is bordering on obsession to talk about these things, to me, is bordering on an obsession for you to want to ignore these things. I would agree with that person if I were to turn on the news for like a whole month and I didn't hear anything about how these people are killing us, or how they're discriminating against our children, telling them they don't want them wearing ethnic clothes to their schools, or ethnic hairstyles, or just anything dealing with our culture not being demonized by them. You see, we don't have to hear about a family whose house was had firebombs thrown at it by two racist white demons, right? If I were to go a whole month and not have to hear any of that, I can certainly see their point. But when I wake up every single day and the news is flooded with things that these Christian demons have done to my people, and you think that I'm supposed to be quiet about it, you are the one who sounds obsessed with protecting them. You see? Now, this Christian lobotomy that has been performed on us, it has spilled over into every aspect of our lives, from education, how we look at each other, you see, how we raise our children, what and how we eat. I mean, so many things have been affected by it. It's because of Christianity that you have people looking at the Bible and seeing that it's an abomination to eat pork, swine, whatever, pig, all of that. But Christianity has said, nope, the law has been done away with. You see, Christianity gave us the doctrine, come as you are. And so therefore you have women coming to the church dressed like streetwalkers. You have our young people who have fallen into the belief that whatever they do, there is forgiveness at the end of the rainbow. And so I feel like a spiritual lobotomy has been performed on us so that we have no intellect, no righteous judgment, no brain cells to rub together, and no right from wrong. And who gave it to us? It was Europeans. Europeans gave us Christianity. They gave us white Jesus. They gave us the cross. They gave us all of this. And to think that we are supposed to ignore all of this and to not deal with the issues that we are presented with daily. Imagine this. It's like being on a battlefield, right? And you are surrounded by enemies. But your stance on this battle that you're in is to ignore the sniper in the tree right there. And to ignore the sniper in the tree right there. And if I ignore the sniper in the tree here and the sniper in the tree here, they'll just go away. They'll stop trying to kill me if I ignore them. If we don't talk about them, if we just pretend like we don't hear anything or see anything, and we don't speak anything against them, the battle will cease. Does that make any sense? I kind of feel like our people being surrounded by enemies daily, enemies who make it known that they are there and that they are shooting their fiery darts constantly and daily. I feel like our people are sitting in the middle of the field, looking at one another, asking for their turn on Xbox. It's my turn to play Xbox, you see? And while you at it, why don't you go in that tent over there and make me a ham sandwich? I feel like we are sitting in the middle of La La Land, surrounded by enemies. And they're throwing everything at us to distract us from the truth. The fact that we are in a battle, and the fact that they are snipers in the trees taking us out one by one, or 10 by 10, or 100 by 100. You know, whatever the statistics are for our people that are dying of foodborne illnesses from the food that these people, these so-called white people, give us. People who are dying spiritually from the spiritual food of JC that these people have given us. People who are dying mentally from the damnable education that they are feeding us, feeding our children. You see? And even the water has been contaminated by these people. Every aspect of our lives have been affected by these Christian white folk. Every aspect of our lives. And yet you have folk who think we are supposed to just ignore that. And then when I look at even how some of us dress and how some of us wear our hair, we have taken their culture and we have applied it to ourselves. Many of us refuse to embrace our natural hair because these people say, look, I won't hire you unless you have your hair straightened or have on a wig or a weave. A lot of the newscasters, they have to wear their hair like Becky. They can't come there with a fro. Even in our schools, they're telling our kids, look, you cannot wear Afro puffs. That is not appropriate. Even in the schools. And when you think about the fact that our children are even going to their schools, that in and of itself is an atrocity. It's like a crime against our people. We are completely engrafted and surrounded by white culture and white enemies, white religion, white gods, white deities, white everything, white superheroes, white television, white movies, white products. And yet we think our course of action is to just ignore it. Don't think anything about it. Don't even talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? A spiritual lobotomy has definitely been performed on some so-called black people. You know, there's a particular black person, and the reason why I said, earlier, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but it's possible this person is white, pretending to be black, but they've been on my videos for months, as far as I can see, and it used to be a time where they were being nice and everything, but then things started to take another turn, you see. Basically, this person, I remember one of their comments was that they grew up around white people, and so they never really looked at things a certain way. But now, I mean, and you know, they were being positive in saying this. You know, they were basically saying that they grew up around them. This is why they have never really paid attention to some of the things that we are talking about. Okay? But now their whole thing is, why do we keep talking about white people? You see, so when you grow up around them, you are definitely affected by them. I can see that in this person's comments, because they are frustrated that we continue to talk about the things that white people do to us, even though we are flooded with these things daily in the news. It's like you can't turn on YouTube, you can't turn on AOL News or Huffington Post News or Yahoo News, or those of you who have television and cable, you can't even turn on television and cable without seeing something that these people have done to us. And yet you have this person who is more frustrated with hearing about us talk about what these people do to us constantly than they are what they have actually done to us. They're more frustrated to hear about it than what's being done to us. Where is your disdain for the countless young men who have been slaughtered by these people? And yes, we do understand that this is a judgment of Yah on our people. This is why we did White It Out Part 5, the curse of generational curses. You see, maybe you should take a look at that, because our people need to understand who they are dealing with. You see, and more I'm starting to see so-called black people go to white congregations, white churches, sitting up there with white images of Jesus all on the walls, all on the pews and the stained glass, all in the Bibles and the songbooks. It's everywhere. And it's like they're going there for their weekly spiritual lobotomy. And yet we are being asked to be silent on these issues. I will not be silent as long as these people are spiritually killing our people, physically killing us, mentally killing us, nutritionally killing us. As long as these people are doing this to my people, I will continue to cry aloud and spare not. And with that, I will say shalom to my people.